Welcome to Places to Go with Heather Gill. In this episode of People to Know, I have the privilege and honor of interviewing Jenna Zebrowski. She is incredible. I'm so glad Jenna's on my show today. She's got her own law practice. It's called LawByJZ. Yes, she's the original Jay-Z. And I can't wait to hear more about what you do. Jenna, tell us a little bit more.
Hi, guys. I'm Jenna Zebrowski, the attorney behind LawByJZ.com. I work with real estate professionals and small business owners, and I really focus on locking down your legal rights in your contracts, leases, and other legal documentation. So you want to make sure you know what you're getting into before you get into it.
Oh my gosh, that's good advice right there. I don't know how many people that you work with that kind of fly by the seat of their pants, but I have to confess I'm one of those people. So I'm glad to hear that you help people realize what they're stepping into.
Well, it's never too early or too late to find out what you're doing. Some people are really proactive and want to get in there and, they have the smaller retainer. And then there's some people who get in there and find themselves a little over their head, or they've bitten off more than they could chew. That's okay. Some of us got to learn the hard way. So then they come to me and there's probably going to be a little bit higher retainer, but we can go ahead and get that solved. I say law is a lot like a tattoo. You can go ahead and pay for exactly what you want, the way you want it. Looks great. Everything's good. Or you cheap out, you get the prison stencil, and then you come to me and it's going to cost you a little bit more money and you're going to have to cover it up. And it's not going to be quite the same as if you did it right the first time, but it's still going to be a lot better than if you did it on your own. So whichever way you want to go, I can help you.
So you can either do it right the first time, and you can help with that service, or people that kind of got in over their heads, you can help them get out, right?
I've got clients on all ranges of the spectrum. Some people, like I said, they come in and say, I want to start a business, and what's the best way to do it, and how do I get it set up, and how much will it cost? And we go through that, and I set them loose. And some people say, well, I think I started a business, or I have a dispute, or there's something that's happened, and now I need help. Okay, that's a different set of problems, and let's address that, because you don't always know what you're going to get into. A lot of people try to get prepared, which is the best way to do it, but there's still life. It happens. So we have to be ready for whatever that is. So I make sure that I've got whatever services my clients are looking for.
Very good. I like it. So in working with real estate professionals, can you give us a couple of scenarios or situations where your services would come in handy for somebody working in that field?
You only want a couple? Okay.
I'm sure you've got a ton, but
I'll make it quick, but especially on the residential real estate side, a lot of times there's going to be an earnest money dispute or a title issue that needs to be cleared up. Maybe someone has died or left a property behind and someone else is trying to sell it and you can't get clear title. So I work with that. Maybe a transaction is in the process of going sideways, or it has gone sideways. It can't close. It won't get terminated. We can work with that, get the money where it needs to go. I also work with a lot of investors, everything from getting their entities set up so that they can get those legal protections, to advising about due on sale clauses, to, hey, you shouldn't do that, and here's why. I also work on the commercial side. So it's everything from negotiating leases and purchases to checking out hazardous materials and environmental and land issues. So it really runs the gamut. There's a lot going on in real estate. So if you have an issue, call me, let me know what it is.
All right. So you just, if it's real estate, call Jenna. That's what I'm hearing.
That's pretty much all you need to know.
Right. That's good to know. And unfortunately, being in real estate, man, earnest money disputes happen all the time, and stuff happens, like the weirdest stuff will happen in real estate. So yeah, I'm glad to have your number in my phone. I'll tell you that.
It's never a dull moment. It's not like, oh, we just read contracts all day long. You get on the phone and you're, what the heck just happened? How did it happen? And even people that have done it before are the best of intentions.
Right.
Okay. Jump in there and untangle it and see what we can do. The other issue is everyone, oh my gosh, you cost so much, or I can't afford it, or I'm not ready. Okay, that's fine, but you're never going to solve your issue. If you need help in a third party and a professional, if you're not ready to invest in that, then you're never going to untangle your problem on your own, or you would have done it already. So part of that is being able, as a professional, to invest in yourself and know what you're able to do and when you need to get your team in place to help you be more effective. And I've learned that as an attorney and a real estate professional as well. So it's knowing who you need to talk to and when you need to talk to them.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And again, I'm so glad to have you on my phone because I get people asking me, who can I talk to for this? And I'm like, well, Jenna's your lady. I mean, she knows what she's doing. If it's real estate related, absolutely. And I've sent a few people your way, just because stuff is coming up, and that's just how it goes with real estate. You just never know what you're going to get into. Absolutely.
Yes, we worked on a contractor lien together. We had a residential property where we needed to make sure that the right people were paid the right amounts. And we had another earnest money dispute that was really interesting. And I just talked to someone the other day regarding a foreclosure question she had. So when in doubt, asking is free. Whether I give you an answer or not, we'll talk about that beforehand. But it never hurts to at least get pointed in the right direction.
With COVID and everything going on, the CDC has made this proclamation that you can't evict people, which I'm hearing a lot of chatter on social media about people who own either apartment communities or they own a stake in one, or they just own residential rentals. And there's a lot of chatter about that. So what's your take on that real quick, on the whole CDC dictating this rental thing to us?
Well, it's interesting. I understand from both standpoints. I mean, there's tenants that are, everyone paid their deposit. They used that for rent. They were able to catch up. Now we're getting into, month 6 of this, and people, if they're not working, they're tapped out. There's not a lot of money, but they need a place to live. It's also a forbearance, not forgiveness. So it means the money is still due. It's still adding up. Whether you collect it or not is another issue, but it's not like, oh, you're walking away from it. On the other hand, I mean, we need this income stream because we're paying for insurance and taxes and maintenance people. And it's really difficult to keep a business going if you don't have your income stream that you're counting on to do that. So it's difficult all the way around. You can't really mess with the federal government. So you can go ahead and try to evict people, and it probably won't work. It does apply to residential properties. Commercial, you're not seeing that protection. And the other issue is also it has to be related to COVID. So if they are breaching the lease in another manner, they're only supposed to have 1 dog and they have 6. And that's different than if I have a hardship due to COVID-19 and they have to show proof of that. So it's actually a fairly narrow exception.
Wow.
It's not a get out of jail free card for anyone by any stretch, but it's also one of those, how do we best balance what's going on in this crazy world we're living in? And there's no good answer. This is the stopgap we have right now.
Right. No, thanks for diving into that for a minute here, because I know it is coming up on radars. I know that was the news, I think, just like the past 24, 48 hours. So that's pretty fresh news here. And I'm sure that we'll get more information as things come along. And as soon as the election happens, there'll be more news that comes out depending on who's elected.
So we'll have this conversation again, and it'll be all different. So let's find out.
Absolutely. I'm sure that we will. Well, that's fascinating stuff. Now, I know you also work with small business owners. Can you take just a second here and talk a little bit about the services you provide for them as well?
Right. I do work with a lot of real estate professionals that also own a small business, whether they're real estate investors who are looking at setting up entities or need leasing or contract protection, or buying or selling or leasing a property through business continuity, employment issues, something that has absolutely nothing to do with real estate. I work with several professionals that own businesses like counselors or doctors, dentists, that sort of thing. So maybe they need help with an employment issue. They need a contract. They need advice on whether they should make a purchase of a certain piece of equipment, or they've got business continuity concerns, or they're looking at estate planning. They want to make sure that their family's provided for and their business is protected. So it's pretty holistic. It's pretty holistic counseling. And if it's something that I'm not qualified for example, you want tax advice, you do not want to ask me. Better yet, ask me and I'll send you to one of my tax professionals. I could do it and probably give you the wrong answer and cost you a lot of money. Or I can say, here's someone to talk to who actually knows what they're doing. And I like to make those connections because I like to keep my license. And it's also, you want to get the right advice from the right people. I just make sure I know who the right people are.
Right on. No, that's good. Hey, when in doubt, refer. That's what I do. I was in a meeting. I was in a meeting yesterday, actually, and somebody was asking me a mortgage question. And I'm like, I'm going to refer you to a mortgage person. I mean, I can tell you kind of what I'm seeing, but I'm not a mortgage person, so I don't do the numbers and I don't know exactly how that works. So when in doubt, I refer to, yeah. Absolutely.
Right. But any referral you're going to send is going to be a good one. So it's knowing the right people to ask. So they'll send you the right people to know the answer. So rising tide.
No, for sure. I agree with that 100%. Well, let's transition. I want to ask you the bonus question.
Ooh.
Which do you prefer? Summer, fall, spring, or winter, and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. I used to say summer because I like being warm and I liked being out of school because I was in it for so long. But lately, I'll tell you, I've switched to spring because I got on this new allergy medication, believe it or not, because pollen is evil. And the last couple of years, I've been able to go outside and I'm like, holy cow, it's really pretty out here with all the wildflowers growing and all the green things coming up. And I was able to enjoy it. And it was really surprising for me because I've always been hiding inside away from the pollen. So if you haven't been to your allergist in a while, go visit them. There's a referral right there. And I would say spring because it's such a pretty transition from all the dullness of winter.
Right. Yeah, I love the pretty flowers. The Arboretum, if you've ever been out there during the spring and they've got all everything up, I love that.
Absolutely. Even just driving down the highway between Dallas and Tarrant County, there's the blue bonnets on the side or the paintbrushes or the other flowers. And it's just, oh, look, it's not grass. It's colorful. So
right. Now, the blue bonnets, I love the blue bonnet season. So are you going to do some real cute pictures with your new little one with the blue bonnets?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. He'll be almost a year. So I think he'll be sitting up by then. So hopefully we'll do something. We're not pulling over on the side of the road. Don't do that. There's rattlesnakes love blue bonnets, believe it or not.
Right.
So go to the places where they have it because it's, hot and sunny. So go to the places where they have it set up safely. Absolutely. There's places you can do that where there are not snakes. So we'll probably do something really cute with that. He's only 2 months old right now. So we've got a little bit of time to plan for that. I can't believe, oh my gosh, he's going to get so big so fast.
He'll be driving a car and going to college soon. I mean, just wait.
That's why I'm still working. I got to pay for all those things. So,
right. I agree with you there. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up, Jenna. I appreciate your time. Let me throw this out here. You can reach Jenna. Jenna at LawByJZ.com. You can also reach her. Her cell number is 817-841-5762. And as we wrap it up and come to a close, final question for you. Do you have any words of wisdom that you'd want to share with us today?
I've got lots. I'm an attorney. I got lots of advice. One of them is when in doubt, call me. Like I said, the call is free. So you may as well find out what it's going to cost you before you make that decision. Right. And the real words of wisdom for basically anyone is understand what you're agreeing to before you sign on the dotted line, not after. Right. Because you're going to find out either way. But words like, I thought I understood, I believe, they told me, those aren't going to hold up for any sort of proof. It's what's on the document in writing. So make sure that what you think you're getting is indeed what you are getting. Right on.
Well, you heard it here. Call Jenna first. And again, I'll throw her information back on the screen. So Jenna, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure hanging out and talking with you. And I guess I got places to go. We'll talk soon.
Thanks so much, Heather. It's been fun. We'll do it again soon.